Baby.
Hello, hello.
Hey guys, we are obviously on Miami time. We're down in Miami right now, but welcome to the Crawford Connection.
Welcome.
And we are just getting things going. So we're gonna let a couple people join. We learned from last time not to play any, theme music right now. But we're here in Miami. We're actually at the Miami Clean Start location, so that's awesome. On this beautiful couch under the Buddha. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Who built this store out?
Oh, who built this store out? Let's see, my contractor.
Who's your contractor?
Mr. Crawford. So yeah, this is one of our babies here, the Miami location. It's beautiful in here. We'll try to maybe swing the camera around toward the end. But
yeah, we had a lot of fun in here. Complete build out. Running plumbing, electrical, everything. So yeah.
So today, while we're in Miami, in our Miami location, we're actually going to talk about Airbnb and passive income. So anyone who is interested in, potentially hosting on Airbnb, who has ever thought about it, who's already doing it, we're going to talk about all things Airbnb today. So should be fun, should be interesting. If you are a host, if you've been thinking about being a host, we're here to kind of share our knowledge, what we went through the last year renting on Airbnb. We actually just wrote a book about it. Do you want to tell me about the book?
It was an awesome book. So it basically give us, we kind of explained some of our procedures that we learned over the last year to make us very successful. And the particular property that we experimented with was a home that I actually built over in Edgewood. I want to turn that down. Sorry, guys. This is our second one. So we're getting through the kinks.
We still haven't figured this one out. So if anyone knows what's going on with the square, it's my stalker.
I sit here and I played and the square would not disappear.
It likes to frame my face. But other than that, hopefully we got some of the other kinks out. Still trying to figure out how we can get our comments on the screen. But
can't see the comments.
All in all, we haven't figured out the comments yet. But all in all, we're having fun. Yes. And hopefully you guys are having fun as well on this Friday, joining us, watching our live. So I guess we can jump into it. We're actually going to bring in one of our great friends. Her name is Katie. In a little bit, we're actually going to bring Katie on screen, who is a great friend. She's our marketing director. She helped us with the book. So we're going to kind of dig into the book with her a little bit deeper. So that's going to come in a little bit. And I'm sitting beside something. My husband actually got a little friend that came with him on our Miami trip. Do you want to introduce your friend that came with us?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your new little friend, honey.
Oh, my fanny pack.
Yes,
this is pretty cool. I've been missing out all my life. I had went into some Nike store, and of course, I can never find my size in shoes, clothes, anything. So I saw this, and I was like, "What you do?"
You're selling.
Oh. So I was like, "Hey, let me get one of these, just kind of experiment with it." And it was cool. They had all these little compartments in here, but yeah. So now I'm a part of that fanny pack life. I did ask a question earlier today. I don't know if I should just completely get rid of my standard wallet. Because when I get back home, I will be ordering several of these fanny packs.
I have a question. Is there an age minimum to get a fanny pack, or can anybody get a fanny pack?
It's all about convenience at this point in time. It's not about age. Hey, so I'm able to put my
old man,
my wallet in here. I can put my shades in here, my earbuds. Just a whole lot of cool stuff. So this is now my new. I wore it all day today as well.
He literally wore it all day
and got a lot of attention.
Did you get compliments?
I did get compliments. And this was just basic. I bought a little Nike one because I didn't know if I would like it. So like I said, when I get back home, I will get fanny
You're
pack.
gonna upgrade your fanny pack game.
No, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get several fanny packs, different ones. So if you see me, just know I will be wearing a fanny pack. One, I don't like carrying stuff around in my pockets, so I think this is right here is going to solve the problem. And then two, it's just easy to get to everything.
I think I'm gonna stick a diaper in there.
So I can conceal. You can carry your gun in here, your wallet, just pretty much everything. So yeah. What's up, Fanny Pack crew?
Fanny Pack crew in the house.
All right, so we're trying to get these comments down pack and questions. We are actually on a few different platforms. I promise by next week we will have this all figured out. We just had a very, very busy week with not only business.
Let's talk about traveling with 3 children.
Oh, yes. So
we just braved the airport with a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-year-old. So that was a little stressful, but we made it through. So that's great.
It was tough. It was definitely tough. They had a row to their. Oh shoot! I guess I shouldn't have said it right there. They had a row to their self.
They did.
And they had the little pads or whatever. Then of course, mom.
What did I do?
She came with all this bags of like markers. Like you can't give them too many choices. There's 2 and 3. So next thing I know, they were just doing everything behind the seat. But we made it though. We made it.
It actually was not that bad.
It wasn't that bad. We all went to bed last night around about 2 or 3 because we got in late. She purposely booked a late flight thinking that we can avoid a lot of folks, and the flight was actually full.
The flight was full. The airport was empty, so we avoided some airport congestion. But yeah, the flight was full. And yeah, I would do it again though.
Do it again.
I mean, we'll see in a couple days.
We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We don't have a choice. So what time are we leaving when we go back?
I think 7 or so.
Yeah, so that's the real challenge, going back. More people's probably going to be in the airport. We left like at 9:30, 10 to come down here. So
if you guys have your questions for us about anything Airbnb, please put it in the comments. We'll try to go over those. We're going to join Katie here, I think, in a minute. I see her over here.
Where?
I don't know. Katie, is your camera on?
I think you have it on movie right there.
There's Katie. All right. Should we do it with this one?
Once we learn this, you guys are in trouble. We're gonna like some.
I know.
Katie.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm super excited, especially to talk to 2 serial entrepreneurs. Y'all guys are freaking awesome. So we were talking about the flight. Tell me a little bit more. You said that the kids were stuck behind the flight seats. Is that what it was? They were like crawling around the airplane?
They weren't crawling around the airplane, but I did introduce, some markers. Do you want to come this way?
Yeah.
I introduced some markers, of course, the ones you can't like mark on different things, but
right.
I probably should have just left them on their tablets. I was trying to get a little creative. So
and
you know how that is. Your mom.
You know her, Katie. She always got to do the extra.
Well, she was trying to be a good mom. I see you over there shaking your head, though, Jay. You're like,
just keep it simple.
Just keep it simple. I mean, it's an hour-and-a-half flight. They had their pads, and then they were fine. Then she was like, "Hey, babe, can you get that bag up there?" And as soon as I pulled it out, I'm just like, "Oh shit!"
You know what? My husband always says stuff. He feels like he's the camel or the pack mule when we travel. So he's like, I'm the pack mule because he carries everything. And my secret, and it's the show's definitely not about kids, but my secret to surviving airports and even Disney World with kids and strollers were those jogging strollers with like that real thin front tire. So people just had to back and pull it away. Get out the way. Otherwise, right?
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, otherwise they were just getting run over. Well, I'm happy y'all guys made it. My name is Katie, and we're still getting stuff together. So it looks like as of now, the comments on the Facebook pages for Jay Crawford and Candy J, they're only read only. They are being monitored. but we can respond through YouTube and also through Twitch as well. So we're getting everything going. Thanks for your patience, guys. So let's jump right in. Candy, you guys ready to talk a little bit about the book?
We are super ready. We're super excited about the book. We finished it about 2 weeks ago or less. So we're super excited about the book and the information that we put into the book, and just even our experience that we've had over this last year. Some beat outside. But yeah, super excited about the book and just sharing kind of, our experience and hopefully helping other people who are interested in Airbnb get into it and not have to go through some of the things we went through and just have a leg up on it.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of Airbnb, I guess most of us want to know is, what did you do with the $100K that y'all guys earned in 1 year? That is awesome.
You reinvest. You reinvest. You try to find ways to reinvest that money to make money. So that's the name of the game. So
speaking of, we have another Airbnb that we're launching next month. So that's exciting. Yep. Trying to add on to our portfolio.
Great location is right in Midtown, steps away from Punt City Market, Beltline, Piedmont Park.
All of that. So we're really, really excited about this location. And it's more of an Airbnb, and we could do it like a flex space with that as well. So yeah.
Nice. So how did the idea, first of all, are we giving away a couple of books to the people that are watching at the end of the show?
We are planning on giving away one book to someone who actually asked a question during the live on any of our platforms. So go ahead and ask your questions. If you're interested in Airbnb, if you've been thinking about it for a long time, now's the time to get those questions out. There's no stupid question. We've seen it all. We've dealt with a lot of different things. So ask your questions. We're actually going to give out a book to someone who puts a question on our comments. So get those questions in there.
Yep.
Awesome. So your book covers lots of different topics, but let's just, for the newbies out there like myself, tell us a little bit about why y'all guys chose Airbnb. I know that there's lots of different various platforms. But what did Airbnb have for you that was good? Like, did it have host protection? Was it a nominal fee? Tell us a little bit about what you chose Airbnb for.
So we'll talk about when we first started. When we first started, we didn't know. We were kind of new to the short-term rental market. So we put it on everything. We put it on, Airbnb. We put it on
pretty much every
platform that you can imagine. We put it on those. And Katie, your video went out. Are you still there?
I am here. I'm drinking a glass of wine, and I'm trying.
Wine, honey.
Yeah, you can drink your wine.
I don't know what's in my cup.
Right. I'm trying not to be on camera while I'm over here drinking my wine. But anyway, really. Cheers.
I have water right now.
We have water, but we're gonna pretend.
Yeah. Doing keto, so that's a whole other topic.
That was doing so great with his keto, by the way, like very, on top of it, especially while traveling.
Yeah. I lost 6 pounds last week. 6 pounds in 1 week.
6 pounds. Hey, I don't want to deviate from the subject, but this is also a subject that's really cool. What's your weight goal, by the way?
So I want to get down to, like 225, 230, which is pretty slim for my height as being 6'8". But I want to get around that weight and just start building lean muscle.
He's trying to get extra fine.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta compete with your wife. I know. It's hard.
Well, the thing is, when a younger woman marries an older guy, when people see that, they say, "Hey, either he has money or," but yeah. So
my husband
or a lot of knowledge.
My husband is 13 years older than me, so we're going to fall into the knowledge category. Y'all guys aren't that different, right? There's not that much of an age separation.
I think when I was in high school, she was in elementary.
Other than fanny packs and stuff like that. But
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to it. So you told me that y'all guys put on every basic platform that you could for just getting kind of the short-term rental out there. Why did y'all ultimately, or do you feel ultimately that Airbnb was the best platform for you?
I'll let you take that one.
Well, our first booking, we got burnt for like $700
on
and
another
it was
platform.
on another platform. So from there, we had to regroup and kind of put some policies and procedures in there so it wouldn't happen again. And thank God it haven't. That particular platform really doesn't protect the host. They're going to get paid regardless. So if you get burned, it's kind of like it's on you. So
yeah, that was one of the biggest reasons why we were like, you know what, let's actually look at what these platforms are, how they're protecting us. And what we found is they're not, but Airbnb is. So Airbnb has, they have where once it's booked and confirmed, they've already taken on that risk. So if someone does a chargeback, things like that, it's going to automatically be covered and you'll get paid. That's not the case with the other sites that we used, and we actually went through that on our first booking, like you said. So that was super important to us to make sure that if someone stays at our property, that we're going to get paid. And that should be everyone's kind of top concern, is you want to make sure that the money is there and secured. So once we realized that that could happen, we were like, why would we do that? Let's pull everything and just do Airbnb. So that's kind of how we became a huge fan of Airbnb.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I like the fact that y'all guys go through and you actually give a detailed list of your experience or the knowledge that you have from some of the ones that are not just in America, but in the book, you're also covering topics in the UK and worldwide, different things like that. So I'm glad you put that information in there. All right. So choosing the right location and unit type. Tell us a little bit. I do want to have like a blend where, because the properties are just gorgeous. Like I was sitting there going, okay, I wonder where they shop, because at the furniture y'all guys purchase, it's beautiful. The finishings, they're gorgeous. But tell us a little bit about what you think is the best type. Like, do you want to rent out a whole home? Do you want to rent out a smaller studio? What is the best type, and why does location matter?
So I guess I'll take that one. We kind of aim for the larger the property, the better. And then so that you can sleep more people. So what is the saying?
Location.
More beds, more heads.
More beds, more heads.
Come on, honey.
Yeah, more beds, more heads. I'm still asleep.
We did not get much sleep.
We didn't get much sleep, but yeah, more beds, more heads.
Yes.
So that's kind of our secret, and that's kind of what we've been sticking with. And so it definitely works. Yeah. So I know when I first initially started, I think I put out on Facebook, and people were saying, "Oh no, they're going to trash your home. It's too many people." You can see the pictures from when we started until now, and no, the house is not trashed. One, because we screen our guests, and then two, we have cameras on the exterior that we monitor, and we just have things in place as far as check-in policy that will hold them accountable, at least that person, and pretty much that person pretty much patrols the property for us.
For sure. But yeah, we go for bigger properties, houses, stay away from, try to stay away from, close neighbors, and
Battery's about to die.
Do you have another one? I
do.
Okay. He's going to hop out for just a second. But we try to stay away from houses that are super close to neighbors, bigger properties, of course, that can accommodate, like I said. If you do, townhomes or apartments, things like that, you can do that. And a lot of people have been successful with that. You just want to make sure that you kind of have an understanding with the neighbors. Sorry, you're just going to hear me for a moment.
It's okay. I can still hear you.
Yes.
Technical difficulties definitely happen, and especially when you're traveling. You know what happened? We actually took the camera to the beach and got the most amazing pictures of the boys. So I think that he's changing the battery right now. That's okay.
And there we are, like magic.
Yay!
So I think I answered that question. We like bigger properties. I would say our minimum head count that we look for is about 10 guests would be the minimum. At some of ours, they go up to about 20 guests. So between 10 and 20. And we'll kind of talk about how you maximize the space so that you can accommodate more sleeping space for guests. So that's one big thing that we do make sure.
Good. And looking and he's back. Yay. It seems like when he walks on screen, Jay, the viewers just increase. Y'all guys have got A little bit of an increase over there.
It's the blonde. It's the blonde.
It's the blonde. That's right.
Yeah, my daughter, she dyed my hair, 2 birthdays ago. She said it stuck. She said, Dad, I want to make you cool. So I kind of stuck with it. So now I'm cool.
Yeah, congratulations. So I was reading on Facebook, like I'm a serial watcher where I like tap in and watch, but I wanted to say, Jay, that's awesome. Your daughter is fixing to do can you say who the artist is your daughter's fixing to do it for?
I'll never do that. Yeah.
Celebrity.
And then then she just got a Zoom interview from a top political person the other day. To do their daughter's hair. So I mean, she's experienced a lot at 18 years old. So she's definitely ahead of the game. So I'm super proud of her because she's doing something that she really loves. So
that's awesome. Yes. Yeah. Speaking of experience, so I know from reading little excerpts from the book, in your experience, do you feel that it's better to get in a location where there's not a lot of other Airbnbs, other vacancies, all that different stuff? Tell us a little bit about the location, like zoom in on what you mean by location, like location. Tell us about that.
So for me personally, I think my wife both, we like to look for areas where there are main attractions. So say for instance, like the new one that we're going to start on March 1st,
around there.
March 1st. You got Piedmont Park, you got Punt City Market, you got the Beltline, with just a lot of other attractions. So we use that to our advantage when marketing a property. But yeah, in the book we talk about that and other techniques, how we kind of lure the guest in. And it starts with the staging, it starts with location and things of that nature. So
we kind of look at, if we were traveling to Atlanta, what would we want to be near? And that's where we start. So it's like, okay, when you travel, you want to be near, a cool, marketplace or the Beltline or, the Brave Stadium. So you kind of want to start there. Like, okay, if I were coming in town to go to these things, where would I want to stay? So you don't want to pick locations that are super far out. Of course, there's someone for everything, I would say. But our marketing plan is kind of to stay around main attractions, from airports to, malls to concert halls, things like that is where we try to stay closest to. And I think you mentioned, do we care if there's other Airbnbs in the area?
No.
And we don't. That actually means it's a great area.
Right.
So.
And we don't see competition with any of our businesses. Competition where?
Good for you. So can y'all guys, what if, let's say that I have an existing property that I'm looking to rent out, or I have the collateral that I want to look into building a new one. Is that, do you have any thoughts behind renting and or building a new one? What are your thoughts on that?
We like both of them. I mean, obviously, my husband's a builder. So if you have the capital to build something that's yours, kind of toward the end of the book, we talk about the big win. And the big win, part of that is, obtaining your own real estate, building it out, refinancing it, renting it out, making yourself the bank. So we'll kind of talk more about that as we get into it. But definitely, if you can build a property from ground up even, or renovate, that's always going to be a great option because, like I said, there's methods where you can make that into an income property and do other projects with it. So, yeah.
Shoot words right out of my mouth. So.
And then you call Mr. Crawford to build it for you. So
that's true. That's
win-win
true
for all parties.
That's true. So your second chapter in your book is called Know Thy Math. Can you, tell me a little bit about what that chapter outlines, what you're talking about? It's a numbers game, but give us a little bit of an example of why it can be difficult to navigate that terrain. And on the same side, why do we want to, where can we go for these types of answers that we're looking for? I mean, of course, besides your book, which we'll be giving out a couple of copies at the end of this web. So y'all guys stay tuned. But tell us a little bit about the math side of the Airbnb and the short-term rentals.
Sure. So the main thing that we talk about a couple things with knowing the math. Are you sipping your wine again? There it is, the ice cubes. The ice cubes. But the main thing we talk about in that section is knowing the math. So knowing that if you have a property and you just rent it out, let's say that you have X property and, we'll use ours, for example. The house that we did our Airbnb on, if we just rented it out in, regular market, we could get maybe $3,500 a month for it. But if you actually go in and make it a short-term rental, you're able to, quadruple the revenue that you bring in. So you kind of want to know the area. You want to know, what your average rental price is, just long-term rental, and then kind of decide if it makes sense for you to spend the money to turn it into a short-term rental. So knowing, your numbers on that will help you a lot. But in general, what we found with our experience, if you can rent something out long-term for about, X amount, you can triple that by 3 to 4. And that's going to be about how much revenue the short-term rental should bring you in. Are we on the same page with that?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And plus, renting properties right now is with this moratorium and people just staying for free. You can't kick them out. Definitely short-term rental is the way to go.
Yeah. So you can touch on that a little bit more too. Right now with the pandemic, I know a lot of people know that if you are a renter and you stop paying your rent, it's very hard to get tenants evicted. That's not the case with short-term rentals. That guest is in there from Friday, to Monday, and then the next person checks in. So a lot of the issues that you have with, renters, you don't have with short-term rentals. So that's a great thing to think about as well when you're, calculating and deciding if you want to do Airbnb. Oh, you're back.
I'm back. I know it. Hey, I'm going to tune out and tune in. I'm trying to look at different chat options and see what we're doing over here. I'm just and following along on Facebook. I've got Yuri Miralo. He says, what's some of the things you guys look out when choosing a location for Airbnb? So that was done about 10 minutes ago, but that's probably going to be the first question that you get no matter where you are. What is the thing that drives people, and the people that you talk to and that you encounter on a daily basis that are booking? What are they going to do? Are they close to this location? So let's take a look. Let's circle back around and talk about location one more time, because there's going to be people are going to be like, how to get started next. But let's talk about location again.
Yeah, I mean, the location, also you want to make sure that it's convenient for people to get there. So, being not right at the airport, but not being so far where they fly into ours, we'll say the Atlanta airport, and then have to drive 2 hours, that might not make sense. So you want to make sure that it's convenient. It has multiple travel options. So close to MARTA, easy to find, easy to park their rental cars, things like that. So those are all things that we consider when we're looking at locations.
And a couple more questions we have over on Facebook. So Ronnie Clark, I apologize for maybe mispronouncing names, but it says, do y'all guys on an average book more tourists or more locals for your Airbnb?
I would say more tourists, but we do get quite a bit of locals, especially when the pandemic hit, which most of our experiences during the pandemic. So we saw people trying to kind of do staycations. So we did see a lot of local traveling. Now we're seeing more, people coming from different states and things like that. So I would say the majority right now is more out-of-state people. But that can change just depending on the climate, what's going on, especially with the pandemic right now.
And then we have another question. I've heard that this comes from a Dana Green. Miss Dana Green asked, I've heard that people have issues with HOAs. Is it best to choose a property that doesn't have an HOA or vice versa? Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with short-term rentals and housing associations?
Yeah, it's probably easier to do it without an HOA. It's simple. It's probably easier.
Or our belief is that if there is a HOA or there is, some kind of, rules, you always want to make sure that you go in You let them know exactly what you're doing. You get an agreement up front so that you don't waste your time and you're not trying to sneak around and the guests aren't being inconvenienced, for XYZ. So you can have issues, but you can also solve some of those issues by upfront letting, the HOA or the neighbors know exactly what you're doing. So they know what to expect. And I think that can kind of alleviate some issues, but anytime you have a HOA, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, I would say.
Active HOA.
An active HOA.
Yeah.
An active
it also depends
HOA.
on how things are spread out. So HOA in like a condo building might be a little more difficult. And HOA in like a neighborhood where every yard is an acre big, people don't really know what you have going on. So you always have to gauge like each property, will someone have that much insight of what you're doing at your own property? And if it's a condo, yes, they probably will because you have a front desk person. But if it's at, a home that's, in a rural neighborhood, it should be easier.
Gotcha. So y'all guys, those of you that are watching, y'all please keep filling the comments. We are reading them and we're going to answer your questions live. We're going to go back to just answering some questions. And at the end of the show, we're also going to give out a couple of books to some people that have posted questions, Q&As, but we're going to circle back around. So,
and I know y'all want your books. So I see some people putting questions in, trying to get their book in.
I know, right?
Our cover is super cute. So it has a lot of great information in it. So go on and post those questions. Even if you don't really have a question, you can just ask.
Just put your name out there. Exactly. Yeah. Just put your name out there so that we can get to you, so that we know y'all guys are interested in reading the copy of it. And it is an extensive book. Believe it or not, they've even got a checklist for supplies you have to purchase for the home. In fact, yeah, I thought so.
We have checklists, but it's
super detailed.
It's so much value in it because it's even the forms we've created that you actually email or that you send out to, booking. So the initial booking, and we'll kind of get into this more in some of your further questions, but we put checklists, we put, forms that you use, we put the messages, the safe messages that you'll need. So when someone books the property, you have one message that says, thank you for booking. Before they check in, you have a before check-in message. So we actually put all of that in the book so that you don't have to go and try to figure it out and guess and things like that. So that's super helpful, I think.
Yeah. So it's literally, it literally allows somebody to kind of just take the book, open it up. They have a property, they can read through it and go step by step. So that's awesome. Because a lot of people are just kind of finding their way. Speaking of finding your way, so what did y'all guys do with familiarizing yourself with Airbnb? Like, we're learning to familiarize ourselves with Restream, different, and getting the show on the air in your square, right? So does the Airbnb have tutorials? Does it have, or did you just literally just open an account and try to learn on the fly? What was your method to conquering that beast?
We learned on the fly like everything else.
How me and my husband work, like we don't do much research. We kind of like jump. We're that type of entrepreneur who we just kind of like jump off the cliff and he's like, hold on, do you have the parachute or do I? And we always land on our feet. So that's great. But no, I wouldn't say we watched like, a bunch of tutorials or anything like that. We just kind of dove in and we did learn the hard way on certain things, like we talked about with the chargeback for the first guest.
That's probably the only hard thing that we have, and it's been smooth selling since then. So other than just little maintenance stuff where you
can't really avoid, I guess, but yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is we don't really, do too much research before we do certain things. So I don't know if any of you followed the whole car thing. That one was a flop, but what was that called?
No, it wasn't a flop.
Toro.
We still made money, but
it
was just like,
yeah.
No.
So
I actually rented from Toro once. It wasn't the worst experience. It was just really awkward. So
but that was one of our things. So but Airbnb, I would say, is a great business. especially if you just have everything set up. So it turns into more passive income. And that's kind of what we're all about, is passive income.
Passive income. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So tell me a little bit about this Superhost, and does that distinguish you from everybody else?
Oh, yes.
I mean, oh my God. So are y'all guys Superhosts now?
Yeah. We actually became Superhost really quickly.
Really quickly. I actually had a friend also where they sent out a newsletter for City of Atlanta, and our property was like number one. So that was kind of good, being that this was our first experimental property, and it did really, really well. So yeah, Superhost.
Yeah, Superhost is awesome. It kind of shows people that you know what you're doing, because there's so many people on the platform. Some people don't know what they're getting. So by having the Superhost, it tells you that, okay, there is a consistent experience happening at this home, and people can trust that. So there's exact criteria of how to be a Superhost, and they don't hide it. We have it in our book what the criteria is, and you just want to make sure that you're responding to people quickly. We go over everything that you have to do to be a Superhost, but those things are super important. So someone could message you at 1 a.m. You want to make sure that you have those safe texts ready. You have all these systems in place. They will, because people are booking, different coasts and countries and things like that. So, I mean, I get a message sometimes, the middle of the night, but because we are a Superhost, I make sure I wake up, I send, if they book, I send them, the booking instructions quickly, just make sure that you're responsive. And that's one of the big criteria to be a Superhost, as well as just your ratings and cleanliness and all of that kind of stuff. So many things play into being a Superhost, but it is super important that you become a Superhost. If you're serious about, making money renting on Airbnb, you want to make sure that you become a Superhost quickly.
Gotcha. So we have a couple of comments on Facebook from individuals that we're gonna, if y'all guys are cool with answering some questions.
Sure.
Yuri wants to know is, how do you guys find or determine a proper nightly rate for the property? Yeah, that's actually a really difficult question.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
really
a loaded
is.
question.
Very, yeah. I mean, it's trial and error. It really is trial and error. You kind of got to play with it, because what happens is your weekends, they will get booked first, and you have to kind of play with the week. But you also want to pay attention if you're one of those areas where they have events coming up and stuff like that. You want to make sure you price accordingly, because if Michael Jackson is having a performance next week.
Why Michael Jackson?
I'm just, Michael Jackson having a performance next weekend. You're right down the street. You're only charging $60 a night. Guess what? You just lost a ton of money.
And because he passed away and he's doing a concert, everybody would go.
Right.
He's back from the dead.
Exactly. So you just got to pay attention to what's going on around you. And like I said, it's really just trial and error. Like I said, your weekends typically go first. If you don't get any bookings, then that your price is too high. Either your price is too high or your property is not up to par.
Yep, those are the two things. There's also a option on Airbnb where you can actually have them set the price. It's called smart pricing. We don't really use that much. I'm not sure of any other hosts that really use it, but if you're not sure where to start, you can kind of just put smart pricing on, because what they will do is they'll monitor holidays, and when Valentine's Day comes, they'll make sure your rate is correct. If they know that big events and things, they'll increase your rate with the smart pricing. So if you're not sure, you can stick with smart pricing. We haven't had luck with that. We just found our sweet spot where it was, if it's too low and it booked too fast, we were like, okay, let's raise it a little bit. So we've kind of figured out, and each property you have will be different, and it will depend on the demand in the area, how many Airbnbs are out there, things like that. So I would be flexible with your pricing. Always have the weekends more, because that's going to go faster and more people travel during those times. And then during the week, our strategy is to be booked. So we would rather, make a couple $100, a night during the week rather than the property to sit vacant. So it just depends on what your strategy is. Some people might say, no, I'd rather, keep a high rate and only have, X amount of bookings. For us, because our properties are full-time Airbnbs, if the property is vacant, then we don't make any money. So we just want to make sure it's a fair price, but we also want to make sure that we are staying booked. So that plays into it a lot. And sometimes we'll change it if the day before we notice there's no bookings, then we'll lower that price for the next night. So you can be flexible. You can change it as many times as you want. That's the great thing. You there, Katie?
Yeah, I'm here, girl. Girl, don't question that. You know what it is I don't know what I look like when I'm looking at the screen watching other stuff. Like I'm all up in there. I did a peel the other night, and I'm trying not to move my face too much.
You're good. You're good.
All right. So we have another questions. Couple of questions from Miss Clark again. Do y'all guys book by room or the whole house? It sounds like it's more so the whole house because more head count is better. But do y'all have a quick answer for that?
Whole house.
Yeah.
Whole house, period.
Yep.
And where do you get your forms from? So y'all also cover in the book different, should you do automated messaging to the clients that are booking, or should you do personalize it? But a Miss Jennifer Terry McCarthy, she wants to know where you get your forms from. Are they included in the book? And do you do any side of outside advertising besides Airbnb to get to your renters? So let's start with the forms and then we'll get to advertising. Is that cool?
Okay. Yeah. So automatic messages, they actually just introduced on the platform where you can actually have automated messages that are customized. So they have, codes in there where you can say guest name. It will automatically say hello, guest name each time. So they're kind of trying to make host lives a little bit easier because before you would have a saved message, but each one you would have to change certain details about. So you would have to go in and change the name. You'd go in and change the dates of their stay. You would go in and change the code, things like that. So Airbnb is making it a little bit easier to automate it if you choose to. You can also, decide that I just want to have saved messages and communicate that way with guests, and that's okay too. So they give you the option to do either one, whatever you feel comfortable with the messaging. And then I think you asked where we got the forms. The forms we created, and some of them were created and changed over time. So what you're getting is what we've tried out, changed, perfected, and now we feel like that is the correct information you want to give to them, that you want to receive from them. So yeah, we created them just from doing. One big form that we added was our check-in form. So Airbnb doesn't require you to have clients or guests sign a check-in sheet when they arrive, but we do. So when you come to our property, we actually require you to read the rules, initial beside them, put your ID, put your credit card. So we go a little above and beyond what Airbnb actually makes them do, but by doing that, it makes them feel responsible for our property. So that's kind of where that came from. Like if you put your ID and your credit card, and it verifies who the person is. But when you put that ID and credit card on your check-in sheet, it kind of tells you like you are the responsible party and we have your credit card number. Luckily,
and your address, and we'll come to your house.
And we'll come find you. So our forms evolve as we went, and actually that same check-in form, it evolves from a one-side sheet to now it has it back on it, where we actually allow the guests to communicate with us at that time if there are damages or things that they see that they don't want to be responsible for. So if you come in and you see, a scratch on, the couch or a stain, you can say there's a stain on the couch in the living room. And it's just a way to communicate with your guests that, okay, we know that was there. We're not going to charge you for that. So it's just a great place to kind of stay on the same page with your guests with rules and with damages and things like that. And
so the next one was about advertising. So what do y'all guys, outside of Airbnb, do y'all guys advertise anywhere else? Or is a lot of it from word of mouth? Tell us kind of the ways that you've took to get your short-term rentals out there.
Well, we did market it on other platforms, but once we put it on Airbnb, it just kind of took off and we're always booked. So we really don't have to do any marketing.
Airbnb will market for you. So when they see that someone puts in your dates in your area, they'll actually follow through with them. I think they have, what is it called, where they follow you. So they'll send you an email saying like, oh, this property is getting ready to not be on the market, and I saw you were looking at these dates. So they have their own algorithm of how they follow up with clients. If you are a super host and your property is one of the popular ones, and maybe some of the not so popular ones, they actually will help to promote for you. So you don't have to go, and do your own AdWords and things like that. Of course you can. We put it on our Facebook and things like that, but no, we don't do any special, we don't have a marketing budget or anything like that. We just make sure that guests enjoy their stay, we get good reviews, and Airbnb kind of takes it from there.
Sorry, my mic was muted.
Oh,
do you guys in the book, do y'all outline let's say I need a release and waiver, or I need to know where to get these cleaning services from, or different stuff like that? Y'all include all of that. Is that correct?
We include all the forms we use. As far as resources for cleaning, we don't know what city people live in, what area of, if they are in Atlanta, what area of Atlanta. We do highlight that it's very important to build your team. So cleaners being a big part of your team. So you want to make sure that you do get a really reliable cleaning team. And we have found that, and we love our cleaning team. They're awesome. They specialize in Airbnbs, so that's great. So you want to make sure that, you find a cleaner who is comfortable with the process of flipping a house. It's different from just cleaning someone's house. It's flipping the entire home from top to bottom quickly several times a week. So you want to make sure that you have kind of a dedicated team that understands that process and is able to deliver within the time period.
And speaking of teams, you want to make sure you have a plumber,
yes,
electrician, HVAC person, a landscaping person, because things will come up. You have some guests that get kind of creative, where they may show up and don't like the property, and they just start making up stuff, just to see if you would jump through those hoops. And if you don't, then they're hit Airbnb and say, hey, I want a refund. Now that have happened a couple of times, where it was a HVAC issue, or it's a new house, or it was it's a new house. But again, because I'm a builder and I have my crews there at my fingertips, I can simply just send them over there. But starting Airbnb, you definitely want to build that relationship with your plumbers, your HVAC, your electricians, because you will need somebody at a drop of a dime, and that's dependable to go over there and handle whatever the issue is. So just like the cleaners are important, landscaper, all those guys, they're just important as well to have that team built.
So have a contingency plan and have backup, period. No matter what.
Period. Yep.
And know that if your backup fails, that you are the ultimate backup. So that team is tight, because
you gotta stop.
I can see me with
and you can't get a plumber over there, then you need to YouTube
the plumber
and drive over there and figure it out.
We had our maintenance guy over before.
Yeah.
So as
the maintenance guy, they have no idea, who you are or not. So So yeah.
And we did have that little slick guest. Yeah, she was trying to get a discount or something.
And I sent
and she thought I was a maintenance guy, and I told her one thing, and then I went in the car and she sent the email, and by the time I started up the car, she tried to be a little slick. I'm like, wait a minute. But,
so that's probably actually what we should cover as we're closing out, or at least as I'm hopping off, because we still got to give out those couple of books to the people that are currently on live stream and that have left their name and have posted a comment, so that they can have a free copy that comes with basically your trail guide. Literally, it's got the forms that you need. It's got the information that you need on how to get started. It's got other platforms, not just BnB, and the information and experience that you've had. So that book is actually pretty important. And no, this is not sales. This is about the Crawford Connection. But at the same time, since this is more of a family show, we also want to know what. And you better not be leaving me.
No, we're not. Here. Our camera gets tired sometimes, so it just.
Oh, it takes a break. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of these funny experience, or these crazy experiences that would bring a little bit of laughter to us. Tell us some of the wild experiences you've had from Airbnb, and then we'll zoom into there's his head, and then we'll zoom into giving out those prizes, and I'll turn the show over to y'all. Tell us a little bit about some crazy customers. I want to know.
I know one when I actually sent my husband over, the maintenance guy over to the property, and there were girls having a nice little party there. Luckily, they saw he was married, or maybe not. That might have been a good thing. But yeah.
Right on time. No, I'm just playing.
So you see people, on vacation, so having fun. Yeah. So that was one. Oh.
And everybody smokes weed. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, fat. Everybody smokes weed.
We caught, I guess, smoking on the patio. What was she doing? This is one of the fun ones.
What, twerking?
We see so many people twerking on our patio, smoking. Yeah. It's like the nightly thing.
Yeah. For some reason, they like to twerk on the deck. And we have
in front of the camera.
Yeah, we have exterior cameras. They know with the cameras, and we also have quiet hours. So after 9 o'clock, we kind of monitor sometimes the back deck. And for some reason, every time it goes off, I might hop on and look, and they're twerking on the deck.
And your wife rolls over like, what are you watching? No.
Is it Instagram or is it the Airbnb?
It's the Airbnb show. It could be a whole show on that patio of the stuff that goes down on that patio.
Yeah.
But they have fun and keep it clean for the most part.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
cool too, so yeah.
Y'all guys ready to give out a couple of books? I think we're ready. Are y'all guys ready to give out? Do you want to look at them? Can y'all see the stream?
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
See we're on like two different phones. I'm seeing comments on her.
I know. I'm seeing comments from everybody. Are y'all guys comfortable with giving 3 books out? Because so far a lot of people are interested. Is 3, even if it's just like a green copy of a PDF? Y'all guys comfortable with that?
Yeah, we can give out 3. Let's give out 3.
Let's give out 3. Pick 3 people and let's
pick a number.
Pick a number between.
No. Ask a question about one of us, and if you follow us, you should know. Like, what does she do?
Well, can I have the book? No, I'm joking. I have a copy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I kind of know. I remember when Aiden was born. Sorry, Jay. Let's see. What did you want? You want them to say something that only Candace would know?
I say let's do pick a number.
All right, pick a number.
All right, put your number down to the side.
Put my number down to the side?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, post a number. We got our number picked out. This is for 2 of them, and then the other one
we'll just randomly give. Okay.
Number.
Let's see. Okay, guys. So they're gonna type in a number. Is that it?
Is that a good way?
Yeah, that's a good way.
Oh, someone said Miami Spa something.
Miami Spa something.
So she answered the question. Oh.
She won.
Look at all of them. Oh, I've got a.
Oh, look.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like Dana Green is gonna get a book.
Woo-hoo. Dana, you awesome. Cool. And it's actually.
And I think. Let me see. Michael Green, that's her husband. What's up, boss? So you guys just gonna have to read to each other, rotate every night.
You get a chapter. Your turn, honey, while he's snoring. Okay, cool. All right, so Dana Green, we've got, and there was a gentleman that posted a number. Oh, we got a bunch of numbers. Y'all guys pick a number. So far, Dana Green, I'm typing this down right now.
Okay.
I mean, you had a 4 and I had a 3, so the 44 is very close to 43.
So
I say the 44.
44.
Jennifer.
All right.
Dana McCarty. I don't have my glasses on.
Oh.
Dana Green and Jennifer Let's see what her name. Sorry, guys. My name, it's terrible. Dana Green and 44. They're asking if they can. Oh, Dana Green wants to share a book. She said, can I share the book? As long as you don't do anything. I mean, you might even get a signed copy. Y'all guys got a couple of copies where you can autograph and, send it out.
Maybe.
Look, I am white. I still keep signed copies of books. I still do it. I'm that dorky.
I'm like someone just hopped on.
Okay.
Susan.
Oh, there's a Miss Susan on the line. Okay.
Side note of what we actually do, speaking of Mama Susan, in your Airbnb profile, it doesn't always have to be you, if you know what I'm saying. So we actually use Mama Susan as our host.
So let me tell you something. She's a good-looking woman, isn't she?
Woman, and
she looks super friendly.
She's nice.
And
now, if she ran the business, everything probably would be free.
Everything would be free.
Mama
would give away all the rooms.
Right.
We love you, Mama.
She's so sweet.
She's the sweetest. So.
Okay. All right. So our last one, and then I'm going to pass it off for a recap to y'all guys. Our last book that we're giving out. I've got a Dana Green, and what was another gentleman that picked 44?
It was Jennifer McCarty.
Jennifer. Okay.
Yeah, let's pick. Let's see. Oh, who else? Who else wants a book?
Who else is still out there?
Oh, you know who asked a lot of questions to us? The Yuri. Let's do Yuri.
Yes, he did. Yes. Yeah, let's do Yuri.
That's not a woman? Let's see.
Is Yuri still on there?
Yeah, Yuri is still on there. Yuri Murillo.
So okay.
Books.
All right, guys. So I or Candace or Jay will get in contact with you. We'll get you either a signed copy or a PDF copy, whichever one we have available. Remember, the book was just released 2 weeks ago. Let's go ahead, and we're excited. Congratulations to all of those that followed along. Let's go ahead and do a recap, starting with Jay. I want you to give your paragraph of what people that are looking to get into this business is a must-have and what they need to do to get started. Your own words.
My own words. Follow elitescapeproperties.com. There you go. I get a ton of, and honestly, the reason we kind of started this journey is because I get a ton of emails. If I had the time to respond to everyone, just trying to help with information, I would never get anything done. So, of course, my wife and I, we like helping folks. So we have started a company, Elite Escape Properties.
Elite Escape Properties.
Elite Escape Properties, where we will manage it for you. We can partner. Even if you need us to consult, we will help you do that. Help you be successful. We feel like within our first year, we kind of did really, really good. Yeah, we believe in sharing the knowledge and helping folks get into that next level as well. So,
amen.
Okay,
I think we lost Katie. Did we lose Katie?
Nope, I'm here. I just maximized your screen while y'all guys were talking. Okay, and Candy, what are your directions? And then maybe lead us out on a recap of everything, not just about the book, but how people can get started. I mean, first of all, before we get to that, I want to say thank you for being a leader in the community. Also, y'all guys are serial entrepreneurs, but they're all African-American or Black-owned businesses. And thank you for doing what you're doing.
Black. I'm not Black.
What are you?
Blonde hair.
Oh, he's chocolate. He's chocolate.
He's Cuban. We're in Miami. Hello.
He's Cuban. But we also want to say thank you. And this was actually the book, reading it, just kind of reading what I could from it. It really is a guidepost. It's got your forms. It's got all the information that you're needing to get started. Candy, can you cover and do a recap? And thank you, guys.
I think the biggest takeaway of this is if you're interested in doing it, do it. You know, if you have an apartment and we did say we only rent out, houses, bigger houses that accommodate 10. You don't have to do that. Start somewhere. If you have, an apartment that you're not there, every weekend because you're at your boyfriend's and you feel comfortable renting out your personal property like that, you can do that. That will create passive income from you. So don't feel like you have to, have a huge house and, in the hottest area. You can also just start somewhere. Once you start somewhere, you put that first foot forward. That starts the motion. So you see that you're making money off of, renting your one of your rooms on the weekend. Then you take it from there and you get, a townhouse or a house. So I say the first step is just doing it. If you're interested in it, start creating that passive income. Once you start it, then it's it's inevitable that everything has to align so that you're able to continue to get that passive income. So I say go out and do it, and we can help you.
Of course.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to sign off. Did y'all guys, I missed the music.
I know.
Like the music was awesome.
So if anyone is a musician and wants to create some cool music for us, or we need to figure out all the guidelines, but YouTube won't let us play our little fun music. So, honey, do you want to do the music? No. I'm kidding.
She's like, no.
Yeah, we miss our music. So. But thank you so much, Katie, for being on with us. We really appreciate it. We're going to go and enjoy some Miami no baby time now.
Fun. Sounds good.
For watching. We had a great time. If you think of other questions after we get off here, don't be afraid to, go to our website. The Crawford Connect is up. You can send us a message through there. It has all the links for our businesses on there as well. We'll be putting the book on there for sale as well. So don't be afraid to kind of reach out, however you know us, through Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, you can go to our website. But go ahead and reach out to us. We love to help people. If we aren't able to personally, one-on-one help you, we also have resources like our book, like the Elite Escape Properties website. So we have different resources where we can help you. So thank you so much for watching. Go enjoy the rest of your Friday night.
Adios. And I'm sleepy.
Here's the music. Hey.
Want to sleep.
Hey. You got to do your fishing pole.
We go to the casino.
All right, guys.
All right. Adios.
Adios.